Bucky's Basement. Bucky's Basement.
Welcome to this special episode of Bucky's Basement. I'm Bucky, and as always in the basement with me today, I have Old Boy.
I'm Bucky.
And I have Juicebox. Woo! And we are here to introduce an all-new series on Bucky's Basement. We've been doing things for you guys, and you've been enjoying them. We've done Casting Cage. We're going to continue that, where we're reviewing Nick Cage's movies in chronological order. We have done fast pitches like crazy, where we write movies in 15 minutes. We've done breakup letters. Yeah. We have reviewed video games, but now we are here to tell you about an all-new exciting series that we've been brainstorming. We've been teasing in other episodes, and we've been excited to actually do this. It's kind of a social experiment.
Yeah. Some of us have been real excited about it.
Yeah.
All right, I've been excited because I think this is going to get us some clicks. To be honest with you, when it's down to the stripped down to the basics. But we have an all-new series that we are going to call...
Are You Not Transportained?
In 2018, Nashville was USA Today's #1 drinking city in America. So why not load up the wagons, literally, and come to the great party bus gold rush? Are You Not Transportained is going to be an all-new series on Bucky's Basement. Whether you're a local or a tourist, whether you love them or hate them, whether you're stuck behind one or cutting one off, party buses are in Nashville, and like it or not, they're definitely here to stay.
And we may be on one when you're honking.
Yeah. Keep it out.
We'll wave. Look for us. We'll be the ones waving and wooing.
With that said, we at Bucky's Basement are going to use the old saying, if you can't beat them, join them. And that is exactly what we're going to do with this all-new series, Are You Not Transportained? We know you guys hate them, but at the same time, you're probably curious, right? I think that a lot of local Nashvillians out there are, they see these, they want to hate them in their little circles that they're in East Nashville and the Gulch and, south of Nashville, and they want to say party buses suck and, they're ruining downtown.
Right. Yeah. But in real life, they're trans curious. I get it.
I guarantee trans curious. That is a great term.
Because
they
act like they hate it, but
they're transportainment curious, right?
Yeah,
they want to get on these party buses. I know you do. You're out there and you're like, oh fuck, Bucky's Basement. We don't like this. We don't like these things. We see them all the time. They've been jamming up traffic for years. They're an eyesore when you go downtown. I don't even want to go downtown anymore because of all the party buses. But yet you love people watching, and I guarantee you love looking at these buses rolling by with the people in them.
With the woo girls. Yeah, it doesn't get any better people watching than a party bus.
I guess for me also, I don't drive downtown that much, so I'm not affected by these things that much. So for me, it's just if people want to have a good time on the back of these things, more power to them.
That's right.
Downtown is just all about debauchery now anyway, so drink it however you want.
Yeah, it's a shit show.
Yeah.
I took my kid and we had brunch downtown, and there's the vans going by with woo girls, and she's like, what is going on? I was like, we have to get out of here.
Yeah, dude, when Barrett was maybe 1 year old, we took him downtown. We took some friends downtown, took them over the walking bridge, and this was 10 o'clock on a Friday, and I was like, we can just do a quick loop down around the block. Already there was pedal taverns and all these other shit everywhere. People were like, woo, it's stop wooing my baby.
Because those were the only time slots that they could get.
Yeah.
I mean, we've said this before. Downtown Nashville is redneck Disneyland, right? It's neon lights. It's music coming out of every bar. A lot of times stuff that you really don't want to hear or you've heard a million times at weddings. It is, every bar is named after a country musician. It is elbow to elbow on the streets from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. every freaking day of the week.
Yeah.
And then they put an Apple phone store down there, right in the middle of it to make it look even less authentic. Which we're not here to judge or review Broadway.
Yeah, that's a different episode.
Yeah.
Because we know what that is all about. On this new series of Are You Transportained on Bucky's Basement, we are going to be your guinea pigs out there. And the three of us, we're all in our 40s. We're all dads. And we all, have jobs and work. And we are sacrificing our weekends with our wives, with our kids, with things that we actually want to do. And we're going to go ride these party buses and review them, which is really cool because we're going to go. We've dedicated an entire night to you because we are going to sacrifice ourselves, go on the party bus for an hour and a half, 2 hours, however long it is.
Yep, drink
we're
lots of drinks.
Somehow get back to Bucky's Basement, and we're going to immediately record that review of that experience.
Wow.
Which I can't decide if this is a great idea or a horrible idea.
Right.
Like
It's going to take us back to our first podcast days.
Yeah,
we used to, over a decade ago, we used to review movies while consuming beverages, and then we would go into the studio immediately after the movie was over without digesting it at all and review the movie. But before we get into it, because a lot of you know, if you live in Nashville, if you probably know a lot of these party buses that we're going to get into here in a minute. But for those of you who are not from Nashville and listening to us because you're our friends and you moved to a different city, or you somehow found us and you might be living in Spain and thinking about coming to Nashville.
hello.
Thanks for listening. We want to give you kind of a short timeline as we've done before. And I'm going to bring this up a little bit later in this intro episode. But I want to talk about, the kind of history of what we consider party buses in Nashville and how this originally started in like the early 1900s.
Are you going to bring up that party barge?
Not
prostitute barge?
Not the prostitute barge.
Oh.
That is also for a different podcast. For those of you that don't know out there, Nashville was the first city to legalize prostitution in the United States ever. And then apparently when the Civil War was coming to an end, they rounded up all the prostitutes and put them on a barge and sent them to Louisville, Kentucky, who denied them and then sent them to Cincinnati, Ohio.
Tough.
Yes. It is crazy. No, I'm talking about horse-drawn carriages. They were the biggest, hottest thing out until like the early 1900s when automobiles started being created and built.
Okay, sure. But are you considering that a party bus type thing? Like a transportainment?
I'm considering it transportainment because when cars came about, they killed the entire horse-drawn carriage market of the mode of transportation.
That's right.
So I think they created another, knack for themselves by becoming like this old thing that you remember from back in the day. And this is what you want to do when you go to cities. You want to get on a horse-drawn carriage and smell shit and be treated bad by the owner. But occasionally you'll get a good one who will point out the highlights of Old City.
Yeah. The Batman building.
Great date. It was a great for about... I'm going to say 80 years. And then reality set in, and over the years, don't let me discredit sightseeing buses, right? You go to a city and they're going to tell you about the city and drive you around. I'm more specifically talking about transportainment.
But how is that not transportainment? Because it's transportation and entertainment.
I guess so. I think that's more like transformation. No, wait a minute. That's the wrong word to use. I was going to say transportainment means information or history about the city.
Oh, okay.
It's not just riding around and enjoying yourself and looking at things. Sometimes I feel like it's getting beat down by education.
Okay.
But no, let me get to the... Fast forward to the mid to late 90s in Nashville, Tennessee.
They still have those horse-drawn carriages.
They do, but a new mode of transportainment emerges out of the ashes, and it is called Fad's Party Bus. I don't know if you guys, if old boy, you might remember this, you might not. These were the like very dark party buses. Like they almost tinted everything around it, so
Yeah.
you couldn't see inside. But inside, if you've ever been in one, it's like a disco, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's like a strip club.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's exactly. Okay. Yeah.
I tried to be a little bit nice to fads.
Let's be honest, though. Come on.
This is
was-
like the 1980s.
No, it was the 90s.
It was the 90s. Yeah, I was gonna say like Blackout City.
It was a cool. It had a good meaning behind it. FADS, FADDS. FADS stood for Friends Against Drunk Driving.
Okay.
Which I like the name of that, and you're creating a party bus behind that theory.
Right.
I'm all for it. It lasted, a good 20 years, and then in the 2010s in Nashville, Tennessee, we were introduced to the Pedal Tavern, which is still here today.
Oh yeah.
Is the Pedal Tavern like the first thing that busts the door open?
I've got to say it is.
Is it? All right. Question. What
Yep.
about the Christmas cab? Is that just Transportainment?
I don't know.
Or transportation?
We're talking about more than four
I'm
seats.
sorry. All right.
I think.
It was a question. If you're a Nashvilleian, you know about the Christmas cab.
No, I get you. You're going way back if you can remember that one.
That's probably the 2010s.
But I think the Pedal Taverns really broke through this idea that you can get out on the streets and you can consume alcohol somewhat safely, and you can entertain people while you're doing it. Over the years, a lot of people catch on, right? When something is popular in a city, somebody's selling tickets, somebody from
Right.
another city sees that and says, I can do that, but I think I can do it better
Right. Or I can do it here.
and bigger and more modified and with
Yeah.
different ideas behind
Man,
it.
I'm gonna do that
More
same
aerodynamic.
thing. Yeah, I'm gonna do that same thing, but not make people pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were only about 5 years late. So in 2015 and to 2017, I'm going to say the initial party bus explosion happened. That's where a bunch of people jumped on the scene and they said, hey, let's tear out these city buses and let's, this was before the modifications of the cutoff school buses, but it was like
Right.
growing to that point.
Yeah.
It's basically, let's tear out the center of a city bus or an old school bus and let's create something cool in here.
Yeah.
And then they realized that AC units couldn't keep up with the Tennessee heat in
Right.
the summer, so they just started cutting the tops off. Right? I feel like that's how
Which is so much better for the heat.
it is. And then we were at the peak of the party bus pandemic, I guess we could say, because in 2019, 2020, right before the actual pandemic happened, everybody was coming into town. I mentioned earlier, this is the great party bus gold rush. I think everybody that had an idea from any other town brought all of their vehicles to Nashville and just cut them loose on the streets.
You remember
Yeah.
when in the old podcast I told you that I saw a guy with a pickup with just two seats in the back. It was like they're just bolted down, but it's just two seats. I was like, that is not safe. But
Or legal.
yeah, and anything went.
And the reason is because the number 2 industry in Nashville is tourism. We
Yeah.
have healthcare and we have tourism, and we have become this, it city that everybody wants to come to. And the reason they want to come to Nashville is because, neon lights, country music, cowboy boots, big trucks, and now party buses, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know any other city, and I've been to quite a few of them over the last few years since this has been a big thing in Nashville, and I've seen a pedal tavern or two. I've seen maybe a party bus, but it is not like a turnstile of party buses.
That's a good point. Yeah, I just don't see it anywhere else I travel to.
I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that other cities were regulating it more.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Because it seemed like there was no regulation for a little while there in this gold rush era. It seems
You're right.
like.
Wild
No,
West.
and the crazy thing is that gold rush continued through the pandemic, and most of you local Nashvilleians will remember that this was a big thing that brought a lot of attention to party buses, is they didn't shut down.
No.
They were saying people can gather outside, and we're technically outside because we cut the top off of our limo or whatever the hell it was, our extended F-150, and everybody said, let's just take money off tourists, right?
Man, we should start a tour company.
It was going great until it wasn't, right? it became a burden and a blemish onto the city because local residents more are moving downtown, by
Yeah.
the droves, and
Right.
they are building high rises, and they're saying I can't even get out of my apartment building because I'm
Right.
stuck behind these party buses and pedal taverns and golf carts and lime
Yeah.
scooters and whatever else.
Those people moving here started their own transportainment businesses too, and then it's just like it just kept compounding.
It really did. So the city, but
Sounded good.
they kind of brought a light to themselves during the pandemic when they wouldn't shut down. So they made the news a lot. And, that just brings more attention onto these things that you're already seeing in plain sight. But you're like, I thought that was just cool with the city of Nashville,
Yeah.
right? And then
Right.
NDOT, which is the Nashville Department of Transportation, gets involved. And they're like, wait a minute.
We want in on the action.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
they're not getting their fees or whatever, their licensing fees or some shit.
They're like, man,
Ultimately, the city of Nashville and NDOT was losing control of this, and permits, like they weren't even, none of these vehicles were permitted. They were just allowed to run wild.
it's bizarre. Yeah.
Like, how is that even possible?
dude.
No clue.
Right. Remember the one that had a hot tub on it? Is it still around?
It's not still around.
Okay.
But it did have, we allowed a party bus in Nashville for over a year to operate with a hot tub in the back of it and run multiple tours per day without draining or cleaning that water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. It really is. And that's one of the reasons that we kind of wanted to do this.
Not to get in the hot tub.
No,
yeah, I
but-
refuse. If that reopens, that's one I'm going
Yeah.
to put my foot down on and refuse to do.
100%.
All right, I won't make you guys do it. And we're going to let you guys know a little bit of how this series is going to work in Bucky's basement. But anyway, back to like the city not wanting this to happen. They were losing control. In 2021, they started to take back control. They limited the amount of permits that you needed for party buses, right?
Okay.
They cut it at like 89. So technically there's 89 permits out there right now that can operate a party bus with,
Got it.
So 89 vehicles can be on the road at once. Then they started to limit the routes that they could actually take, where they could go. They couldn't go close to a school. They couldn't go, close to a federal building, or I don't know. All of this stuff. So now there's a big deal coming up here in April that they are trying to take those 89 permits and cut those in half.
Damn.
And some of these companies have been around since 2015, 2016, 2017. That is, 6, 7, 8 years in business, and you're trying to
Yeah.
take away their business just because you can. I don't know if that's 100% right, but I want to see a side of it and use this as an educational exercise
Sure.
to say, should these things actually be in Nashville?
Are they, do they bring value to the city?
Correct.
Okay. I
mean,
was
they-
doing it to drink, but
They obviously bring economic value to the city because they're constantly running and they're constantly seemingly
time.
sold out. Like, they're always jammed.
I mean, that is true.
And those people, I guess those people would otherwise be spending money at a bar, but, you're getting them on the whole entrance fee on getting on the back of a tractor
Yeah.
or whatever they're doing.
There's a draw. There's clearly a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's 89 of them operating and like they're all operating all the time. So yeah, all right.
So what we're going to do on Bucky's Basement and this series called Are You Not Transportained is we're going to spend our hard-earned money going out and researching these things for you.
Yeah,
Should we start a GoFundMe so people can
that'd
donate
be-
money to us?
that'd be great. Actually,
So we could get reimbursed somehow for paying for this shit.
Because these things aren't cheap.
No.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, we've already done one, and we're excited to release our first episode on Are You Not Transportained, but we wanted to do this intro episode so you guys know exactly what you're getting into. And we have some rules that we need to follow every time we do one of these episodes.
okay. Yeah.
And this was fun for us. The first
Sure.
rule I'm going to go ahead and introduce, it's the fact that I get to pick where we go, and I don't tell these guys where we go until we actually arrive.
That is
or
true.
what party bus we're going to get on. Exciting for me because I'm like, I get to hold the bag,
Right.
And then just
Boom.
boom,
Yeah, we're going on
this is
this.
what we're doing tonight.
Old boy, did you agree to this?
I did. Actually, I
agreed to the
suggested it.
surprise?
I suggested. I was like, he was like, I know what we're going to do first. I was like, you know what? Don't tell me. Just surprise me every time.
I mean, I like the idea in theory, but in reality, it gives me such bad anxiety.
I'm sorry. Would knowing help?
Maybe
No.
I could mentally prepare myself.
And you guys keep in mind out there that there is everything from tractors to pedal taverns to golf cart tours to educational tours to comedy tours to musical tours, but a lot of cut-off school buses and party fire engines and the
there's
Hell
a
on
boat,
Wheels
right.
which is there's monster trucks.
Hell yeah.
There's a
Whoa,
guy
whoa,
that
there's
drives
a monster truck.
Yeah, there's a guy that drives a Bronco, just like you were explaining, with 4 seats in the back of his like open air
Yeah.
Bronco.
That guy made it.
I'm gonna surprise the shit
I'm happy for that guy.
out of you with this series. So that's the first rule on Are You Not Transportained? Is
Right.
I don't tell these guys where we're going, and you guys are introduced to it
And we just show up
on
and
the
do it.
podcast every single week.
Right.
The second rule is,
Oh fuck! What's the second rule?
you know the second rule.
We have a cover story.
We do have
We
a
have
cover
a cover
story.
story. Yeah. So we're gonna make up a cover story for the three of us. So instead of us going in and being like, "Hey, we do a podcast about just things," and we're gonna go in with a cover story that we're like three dudes. It'll be something different each time, which we'll get creative, and it makes it fun.
Instead of just being 3 creepy old dudes, we'll be 3 creepy old dudes with this creepy story.
A non-believable cover story.
One thing that we did think of, or at least I thought of just now, was we're all three of us are brothers from the same dad but different moms, and we've never met each other, and we've agreed to meet in Nashville. And the activity that one of us chose was to go on a party bus to get to know each other
I
better.
think it's a great cover story. I threw in there that we should be the grown-up version of Hanson, and that
We've got the hair for it.
right. We just grew up.
Speaking of that, you can see us if you're listening to us right now. You can watch us on YouTube and check out these long locks that we're all three rocking currently.
You can see how we all look a lot like Hanson.
That's what makes it so beautiful. It's like people will like we're like Mbop. We'll be like, yeah, we're the brothers Hanson. And they'll be like,
What if we were the original Hanson, but then we got replaced, but we actually wrote Mbop.
but we weren't like camera.
Yeah,
And Paul is dead.
We were the actual singers. They were the front people for.
No, because somebody's going to ask us to sing. We're going to say, sorry, we started smoking cigarettes when they got famous.
Yeah, exactly.
Our voices are shot.
And that money is all gone now.
I kind of like this backstory.
Oh, as you can
Just
see,
writes itself.
we have a lot of fun together, and that is just going to transfer onto the platforms of these party buses when we go out and do this. I did pull a list from the Transportation Licensing Commission of the party buses in Nashville. So I want to read these really quick, rapid fire to you guys.
Boom, do it.
And tell me, just say yes, no, real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
Big drag bus.
Yes.
Yes.
Big green tractor tours.
Sure.
Yeah.
Extreme experience.
That's so vague.
Yeah. So do I need to wear a condom?
Groove line party bus.
Sure.
Hell on Wheels Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honky Tonk Party Express.
Sure. Yeah.
Music City Party Fire Engine. That's a long one.
I don't know, but
Party
maybe.
engine?
Nashville Bar Bus.
Yes.
Yeah. What I mean, what is that's just
It should be.
Bar bus.
Right? We don't know that yet. Nashville Party Barge. Nashville Ultimate Party Bus. Party Bus Music City.
Yes, yes,
Party
yes.
Central Nash. Party and Ride Nashville. This is like a. We're not going to be able to tell these apart.
Extreme Party Central Bus.
Again, we're going to do pedal taverns. We're going to do all kinds of things. I don't see anything else on here. Rowdy Bus. That one doesn't say party in it. Everything else says party because they are obviously trying to get up there in that organic SEO on clicks.
Yeah.
Because all these people are competing with each other.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I don't know about you guys.
excited.
I'm pumped. Like,
Yeah.
we finally get to go do like field trips for Bucky's Basement.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to expect a lot of times. I mean, I know what to expect, but I'm kind of with you on that. Like, I'm like past my prime for these things. You know what I mean? And
We all are.
we all are, right? So it's I'm like, oh man, what am I getting dragged into? And but I will say, we usually party pretty good. We're party dudes.
I mean, yeah, we can get that part taken care of. I think it's just making yourself have fun, right? That's what you got to do. You got to walk into it and saying, I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to like
take Jello
I'm going to
shots.
embrace this because I'm not going to see any of these people ever again.
Ever.
And B, I'm going to be drunk.
Yeah. I'm gonna end up dancing in front of strangers in a small space.
Because you have to.
Yeah,
Because
you
they
have to.
have people on there that are encouraging you to do that.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, every party bus or mode of transportainment that we are going to do for you guys, and we're going to put this out, every couple of weeks on Bucky's Basement. We are taking a public tour, meaning, we are with the masses.
Yeah.
It's not us with a group of our friends enjoying ourselves. We are, like Juicebox said, anxiety comes on as soon as you step on that vehicle and you don't know anybody. But then, hopefully, and the goal of these party buses, and the reason I'm paying $55 to $70, for the hour and a half ride, is because when I leave, I want more friends. I want to step off there with people that I've met.
Right.
Or an experience that I can tell my friends about.
Before we get out of here and we actually get on to, this Monday's inaugural episode of Are You Not Transportained?
Yeah.
We're not going to let you guys know exactly which one that we've chosen or I've chosen to go on first for these guys. So that's going to be a surprise to you. You got to stay tuned to our socials, and you guys will find that out. You can find us at Bucky's Basement on Instagram, wherever you do your socials. We're at buckysbasement.com. We're always on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. We did want you to know that we did have a previous podcast prior to this. It was called Raising Nashville.
Yep.
And if you go into your Spotify or your YouTube, I think you can find it on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
I don't know if it's on YouTube.
Wherever you get your podcasts, and you type in Raising Nashville and you look for the episode Transportainment. We actually did this before. We didn't go on a party bus. We sent a friend of ours to go on party buses, and we interviewed him throughout a night. We made him go on 3 different party buses, including a pedal tavern, a horse-drawn carriage, and the Music City Party Tub.
Yep.
And he reported back on that podcast from all 3 locations, and it was incredible.
Great
we also
episode.
go through the history of party buses. We do a lot of things about, local Nashville on that episode.
That's true.
We're going to post a link to that on our socials. But we hope you guys are excited as excited as we are to do this. And if you out there want to go on one of these party buses with us, we're not paying for it, but we will happily have you.
How fun would that be?
It would be awesome. And then we could interview after it was over.
That's what I wanted to say. When you were like, well, it's always going to be just us 3 going on it. I would like to try to recruit some people to go with us.
That sounds like fun. I'm down with that.
Okay. As long as we have them sign a
waiver?
disclosure.
All right.
Yeah, saying that we can use their testimony here on Bucky's Basement.
Right.
Here is the last disclaimer of the night is if you are a party bus out there and you do not want us to ride your party bus or review us, and you have somehow caught wind of this entire series, we don't care. We're gonna ride it anyway. If I need to shave my beard, if I need to change my hairstyle, we're riding your party bus, and we're gonna honestly review that for everybody out there in Nashville. We're doing this for locals. We're doing it for tourists. If you found us somehow through any one of the channels that said you guys should check these dudes out, they're actually going on these things and reviewing them honestly. Welcome and thank you, and we hope you are strapped in for a long ride of Are You Not Transportained?
All right. Tell your mama then.
I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes astray.
When I woke up in the morning, this morning was a judging day. The sky was all purple, there were people running everywhere. Tried to run from my destruction, you know I didn't